Wailing/weeping woman. When I was younger, my dad's side of the family, almost every year, would all go on vacation to Mexico to the small ranch they grew up in. It's fun for my cousins and me since we would all spend time together and play all day until the sun started to go down in fear of seeing La Llorona, the Wailing/weeping woman. In case you aren't aware, there is this Mexican urban legend that late at night near bodies of water, a wailing woman crying "Where are my children?" will appear looking for the children she drowned, and if she sees a child, she will take them or drown them. My grandmother's house, which we usually stayed at, was at the edge of the ranch. So, after my grandma's house, there was just a huge space and a road that would take you to the next neighboring ranch, which was roughly half-an-hour car ride. It was very rare to see a person walking unless they were on a horse if it wasn't a car. So, at night, it would get pitch black unless the moon was out. Almost right next to her house, a stream passed right next to her house, which then dropped into a small waterfall. We would play there all day until the sun was going down. We would dash out of there, not wanting to get dragged by La Llorona. One night, for some reason, my cousins and I got bold and decided that we wanted to see La Llorona and finally conclude whether or not she was real. We all gathered at the front of my grandmother's house and marched our way to the stream. The first few minutes, we stood right next to the stream calling for her and would remain quiet and scared, not wanting to miss if she cried out. But after a while of waiting, we got tired and started joking and cracking jokes about La Llorona. Suddenly we all heard a loud wail making us stay completely quiet in fear. My cousins and I screamed and ran back into my grandma's house, where to our horror, we found all of our parents inside having coffee. We were all hoping it was maybe one of our parents playing a trick on us, but they were all inside chatting. We never mentioned it to our parents at that point because we would all get in trouble for being near the stream at night. But my cousins and I still don't know who or what made that sound that night. I still get chills remembering how horrifying that wail was. Never thought this would happen to me. Something under my bed. So, I want to start off by saying please forgive any spelling/grammar issues. I'm using mobile and sleep deprived, so this may be a rough read. I'm 27, husband is 30, daughter is 1. This story happened last night, so I'm running off like 2 hours of sleep and my daughter wasn't into the idea of sleeping in this morning. Also, I don't know if this is the place for this kind of thing, but I've been searching through Facebook and Reddit for some sort of group to talk to about this. I need ideas on what to do or any rational explanation. Okay, let's dive into this mess. So, to start, my husband, our 1-year-old and myself live in a rental and have been here for 3 years now. When we first moved in there was a random doorbell that would go off. There isn't a doorbell here that we can see. We thought that there was probably a battery-powered doorbell stored in the attic that is probably dying/malfunctioning. That eventually stopped and we forgot about it for the most part. My husband also used to see what he called shadow people, hear footsteps and have horrible sleep paralysis dreams. I always chalked it up to his mind playing trick on him or him trying to scare me. It's been a few years since any of that has happened though, and for the year that our daughters lived with us, 0 spooky things happened until last night. My husband works the night shift, so it's just me and the baby most nights. Well, last night my daughter wakes up around midnight, so I got her and brought her to my bed. She is back asleep, and I'm wide awake scrolling through Hulu. As I'm searching for a show to watch, I kid you not, the foot of my bed, frame and all, lifts like half a foot off the ground and slams back down. My daughter is still asleep, but I'm frozen in fear. My first thought is there is someone under my bed, but I quickly realized that I couldn't even fit under our bed, so that is far-fetched but not any better. I quickly scoop my daughter up football style, stand on my bed and jump off the bed as far as possible and run out of the room. I grab our gun, call my husband shaking and sobbing to please come home, then call my mom to come pick us up. At that point our kitchen lights start to dim until they were completely off, which was the last straw. I took my daughter and went to the front yard in only a t-shirt and panties until my husband got home, like 10 minutes. He did a sweep of the house and nothing seemed out of place, which weirdly only made me more scared. Like I would rather a stranger be under my bed than some invisible force, but I still went to my mom's. I finally fell asleep around 3:30 and my husband picked us up at 5 a.m. when he got off work. I'm afraid to sleep here, so I've been awake ever since. I don't know how I'm going to be here alone at night anymore. I'm trying to debunk what happened and find an explanation, but I can't. It may not sound scary to you, but I never felt so scared in my life, and scary stuff is 10 times worse when you have a baby to protect. What do I do? How do I bless my house correctly without making this worse? Also, I don't drink or do any drugs, so it's not like I was just tripping. My mom is a paranormal buff and my husband and I agreed after one too many crappy spouses in scary movies to always believe each other when we say something is up, so they both believe me, but I still feel crazy. This turned into a rambling post, but it's all still fresh.